Hi everyone! Let's talk about the biggest nightmare in project management. Not deadlines, not budgets this time, but people. Specifically, figuring out who has time to actually do the work required. And I don't mean walking around your open space and looking for some bored faces, limit floor walking. I mean being able to check it online, to check it easily, and being confident it actually works. So if your Jira resource planning looks like a sea of red bars and it feels like there's no one to actually take the tasks, or if you're trying to plan every single hour for every developer 3 months in advance, stop. You are hurting your project and you are definitely hurting your sanity. I'm Marta from Genius Gecko, and we help companies master project portfolio management. Today, I'm going to show you how to do resource management in BigPicture the smart way. We're going to move from micromanagement, which I really don't like, to strategic capacity planning using one of my favorite features, scenarios. So let's dive in. Okay, so welcome to Big Picture. Let me open one of my projects that are currently running. Resources module. Classic situation. We have the Fit Freaks app that we are currently working on within the organization. And look at the timeline. It's bleeding red some places. So this means that our people are over allocated. Most managers would try to fix that by moving tasks around day by day, hour by hour, week by week, right? That's a trap. For example, a person can get sick, can have a bad day, and it's going to ruin what you've planned, right? So it's going to influence all the changes. Instead, look at this. Currently, we are looking at individuals, right? So I have a few people within the organization, but I can change the view to teams. And the situation looks pretty differently, right? If we would go to individuals, look at Muriel and Paulina. They are actually part of the same team, right? Let me go with individual skills so that you can see what skills they possess, and you know that they are both developers. And when it comes to Muriel, she's loaded. Paulina is doing pretty fine. And let's look at week 52. If we would go to teams, and I would like to see how my developers are doing, I can see that they are pretty fine, right? So they are showed green on the timeline, meaning that it's okay. They don't need help. So why am I referring to this one? Because at Genius Gecko, we teach you to plan by teams first. So if the developers have some capacity, we can even assign something more to them within this week. And then a team lead, team manager can go and see how the plan looks like when it comes to the whole team, right? Look at the individuals, see what they are assigned to. We can go with grouping, so we can group this view by teams first and then individuals, and let's check what is happening in here. So we have our developers team, and on the teams bar right here, they are green. However, when it comes to Muriel, she's red this week. Paulina is green, right? That's why by combining those two elements, we know that when it comes to the team, it's okay. When it comes to individuals, not really, right? So we can split this responsibility for overloading people within teams. What else can we do about it? So, as mentioned at the very beginning, we have a brilliant functionality within Big Picture that is called scenarios, right? So here we are operating within this live scenario, and we can change it. We can create a new scenario. Let's say this is going to be our December idea, right? And let's make it private for now, because we are only testing something that just came to our mind, and that's why let's hit create and leave it as private so that it will be visible only to us. We can then of course change our mind and synchronize and apply those changes, but this is going to follow as soon as we think the plan is okay to go with. All right, so you can see that we are operating in a scenario mode, right? We have this color in here and in the name of it. And I can see that I have some tasks that are not yet assigned, and I would like to assign this one to a team, to an individual, maybe after that. So let's say I have my New Year feature task. I just assigned it to Muriel. Oh, actually, wait, no, I just told you that it's a better idea to maybe start with teams first, right? So let's say I've made a mistake in here, so I would like to go back to the original plan. And actually I can, because I can undo last changes, right? And you can see that this task just went back to an assigned place, right? So again, nice feature, nice thing to try out within the scenarios mode. I can simply undo last changes. Okay, so one more time. Let's switch the context. Let's clear our grouping and let's go with teams. All right, so we have a task that is planned at the beginning of the next year, and I can see that okay. This is for the future, for the feature, that the New Year's feature. So probably my developers should be responsible for that. So I can see that okay, they are pretty loaded this week. So maybe it would make sense to change the timing for this task, right? I can drag and drop it and change the timeline, change its place on the timeline. However, resources module is not really good place to do so, because we cannot see all the other moving pieces, right? So we are operating within resources. We can see the workload, capacity, etc. However, maybe there's a dependency, right, between tasks. This is also a great functionality of BigPicture, that we can see those, and we cannot actually see those right away in the resources module, but that's fine. Let's go to our Gantt chart. We are still operating in this scenario mode. You can see that it's available in here, right? So it's shared across modules, so I can test my ideas and see the outcome in both places. So the one that influences resources and the other one that influences the timeline, etc. So let's look for the one that I wanted to change, and I can see it on the timeline. Okay, that's the one. And exactly, there's a dependency, right? So if I would try drag and dropping and changing its place on a timeline, you can see that, of course, the next one, the one that is connected with this one by dependency, ends to start dependency, this is going to be changed, right? So I have to make conscious decisions when it comes to not only teams and people, but of course the project, right? So it's best to combine those. But all right, I can see that it's still okay. It's still gonna do its job. So let's leave it like that, and let's go back to the resources module to see what's actually changed after applying this this idea. All right, so this feature is currently part of the second week of the year, next year, and I can see that my developers are doing pretty fine at the beginning of the year within the second week. So let's assign this one to the team, and I just assigned it to the team. I can see that it's still going to be okay, so probably it was a good idea to change its position on the timeline, so to change dates for this task one, and then assigning it to the team. And I can leave it like that, and then I can talk to the team leader, tell him that okay, I just assigned it to your team, and now it's your turn to decide who exactly is going to take this task, right? So if I would go with individuals, I can see this different view, and within this unassigned part, this task is going to be placed right here, right? So it's been only assigned to a team, not to an individual. So just to make you make sure that it's available for you as well. And also, if we would go to our teams view, you can see that this conflict was actually resolved, right? So within this first week, they are still red. However, this remaining capacity is -1 hour. So it means that only 1 hour is missing to complete a task. It probably should be manageable. However, when it comes to the second week, it's fine, right? So we just pushed back this task and then we assigned it to a team and it should be okay. So what's next? We are operating in a scenario mode. Please remember about that. Always look at this place, what exactly you are doing. So we can click on this number, this bubble indicator, telling us that we have applied 2 changes so far, and this is going to show us which changes exactly we've applied with all the details, so everything that's been changed. And what we can do about this one, we can either merge those changes to live, right? So maybe we've applied many changes, we've changed the timeline dramatically, let's say, and then we decide to maybe go to the other team to present them this idea, right, this plan, or we would like to meet with our team and discuss those, whether this is going to be doable. Anything like that is going to be followed with a decision, right? So if we think that, okay, this is doable, we would like to stick to this plan, we can click on merge to live, and then all those changes that we've applied are going to be available in this live scenario mode. So this one, right? And visible to everyone. So if you want to avoid burnout, we need to maybe delay this project by some time or cut scope here. We can always go with such ideas, and we can tell other stakeholders that we have data to prove it. So you can show it, right? You can actually show exactly in details what is going to change. And if you decide to, again, merge those changes to live, there's going to a pop-up message asking you to confirm whether you are sure you want to merge those. So now you might be thinking, okay, that looks easy. I just drag and drop and that's it. And I have a plan. But here's the catch. BigPicture is calculating all that based on the data you put into Jira, right? Okay, you can use basic tasks that are not going to be connected with Jira, but that's like a different scenario. Usually you are operating on Jira data and you are using those Jira elements, right? Jira work items. So, continuing this one, if your estimates are wrong, your resource plan is a fantasy. If your holiday plans, workload schemes aren't configured correctly in the administration panel within BigPicture, those elements, those bars in the resources module, those estimates are going to lie to you, right? And at Genius Gecko, we see this all the time. So companies are buying the tool, but they don't implement really the process of estimation, right? Capacity management, adding everything that is required there, right? So for example, in this place, original estimates, I know how much time this task is going to take, to consume, right? At least for the plan. Okay, it can change with time, but still, when it comes to the plan, it needs to be specified, right? So it should be estimated. If we would go to the resources module, I know how much time my teams are willing, are able to dedicate when it comes to the project, right? So I know what the capacity is based on all team members' capacity. I know how much time each individual has to offer within the project. I also know when exactly there are any holidays, right? When people do have any free time planned, right? So we can have all that within the tool. Let's say Christmas time is coming, right? So probably it's going to mean that okay, probably not whole team is going to be here, and there also will be times when not even one person is going to be available, right? So we can see it right away. We can look at all those grayed out elements, and we are sure that, okay, despite the plan was perfect. However, it was perfect until end of December, right? And then it turns out that, okay, we need to take into consideration that some hours are going to fall out from the plan. So again, the tool, I would say, is only 20% of the success. The other 80% usually is how your teams work with Jira. And this is where we step in, right? We tell you what are the best practices, how you should be preparing this environment, what data you should put into the system so that you can take all those meaningful elements from the system, right? So this is really really important, and we can help you with that to use this tool in its entirety with all those great functionalities so that it's going to be meaningful. For the advanced users out there, BigPicture can also handle skills, and you can also change the view to show you those. And I can see which skills we have within these teams for those tasks. Don't forget also about using this one whenever you are assigning tasks. So let's say I have this one, and I know that required skill for this New Year's feature is being a developer, or at least possessing this skill for developing. And whenever I'm thinking about assigning this one, I can also use this find the perfect match functionality. I know I'm referring to this one a lot, but it's a really, really great one. And I can see that, okay, 70% match when it comes to developers team, and also when it comes to assignees, I have same match for Paulina and Muriel, and I can assign those right away. So let's say I decided to assign this one to developers team, and it's been already assigned, and then to Muriel, right? So it's been assigned automatically, which is really, really great. Okay, now it works. So we've mentioned skills, absences, but also there is something more. BigPicture can even handle different workload contours like front loading, backloading effort, right? So if we would go to this workload contouring down below, please remember about new layout, right? You can also collapse those sections in this in the newest version of BigPicture. So let's say we are speaking about workload contouring, and the contouring mode can be changed. Let's say we have a really important task and we would like to finish this one as soon as possible. We can go with a front-loaded contouring mode. And this is going to change how this workload is going to be distributed within this time that was estimated as needed to complete this one. We have a dedicated deep dive training where we teach you not just where to click, but how to configure these workload schemes so they reflect reality. We also have a free BigPicture training version to get you started with the basics. So if you want to implement resource management, this is where you start. But if you want one that actually works for your entire organization without the trial and error, you should talk to us directly. We configure the tool, but we also train your teams on the process. So check out the links in the description for the free training and our contact info. And don't let your team burn out in the sea of red bars. See you in the next one.